Too late. We live. I asked you like them times. Hey everybody, what's up? Of course, we're starting CP time, 7:13 Eastern time. If you're just chiming in, we are here. Rod from TechGuysSmartBay.com, and we got. I'm gonna pass the mic to whoever wants to take it. Introduce yourselves.
Mike, GStyleMag, gaming editor. I'm here to talk that stuff today.
Go ahead, Keisha. No?
Yes, sorry, I was tweeting out links. Keisha, I blog over at CityGirlGoesDigital.
Annalie, TechWeLike, and GStyleMagazine, mobile reviewer.
Cool. There you go. We have one more coming in. Should be sure to join us later, shortly, and we'll make sure to introduce her as well. So, as you said in all the Instagram and all the other stuff, we're here to talk about the best, worst tech 2015, and also what we're looking forward to for next year. So, 2015 was a pretty interesting year for tech. It was definitely busy for us, trying to cover all this shit. I guess to start things off, it was, in my opinion, it was the death of the flagship 2015 in regards to smartphones, because it's to the point now where you can buy a Moto G or a Moto X or something not high end and not miss a beat compared to what else is out there. What do you guys thought on it?
Agreed. Yeah. I would
Definitely agree. The affordable phone also, it's not even like the flagship has to be expensive. It's just the affordable phone itself. Like it doesn't have to have killer specs all around, killer camera. People are fine with something mid-range. I think if they're not killed with like bloatware, high touch whiz, stuff like that.
Yeah, and to kind of piggyback off that, the flagship phone isn't necessarily beyond the reach of someone's budget now. In a lot of respects, you can actually go out and buy a quote unquote flagship phone and not go broke and be like, oh my God, what am I going to eat? Like, you can really afford a really good phone nowadays. If not from your own pocket, even the carriers are kind of helping make that a possibility. To whereas a couple of years ago, you kind of really had to be at a premium with your phone carrier to kind of get the best phones. Now, it's not so much the case. Everyone more or less can walk around with a really, really nice quality, high-end, well-constructed phone. I mean, it is the death of the flagship officially. Shoot it, bury it.
Yeah, and it's to the point, to piggyback off what you said, Anna, in regards to mid-range. Mid-range, maybe 2 years ago, used to be just a nice phone that was a decent phone that was affordable. Battery is probably good, camera was probably shit, and all the specs were probably from like 2 years prior. Now, cameras are decent or pretty damn good. You got a few that are still.
I'll be better then.
Yeah, you got a few that are still lacking that probably need to step up, but definitely everybody's kind of another thing for this year. Everybody has kind of stepped their game up in regards to different aspects of what they bring to the table in regards to the phone, whether it be better camera, better battery life, or even design.
What I'd like to see the end of, though, is I'd like to see the end of the too thin phone. It's a trend that I find to be quite annoying, because when phones get too thin, the battery suffers, and now you find yourself kind of becoming, charging dependent. Like if you have to go out and you have to constantly worry about your phone's battery life. It's a monumental pain in the ass. Especially me, and I'm incredibly irresponsible with my phone's battery.
You and me both. My phone is never charged.
I go out all the time, and I'm with Anna and Jason and you, Rod.
Oh my God.
Yo, you guys got a charger? Anybody have a battery? Anybody have a
Well, I think that's what they want. They want you to rely on, quick charge and fast charge. Oh, your battery's gonna die soon. But it doesn't matter because it will charge soon.
I don't mind the fast charge thing as much as I mind phone being unnecessarily thin. And it's while it looks really nice aesthetically, everything else suffers. As a result, in some respects, sometimes the camera will suffer. The battery will suffer just because there isn't enough room in the housing. Because the phone is, being made entirely too thin. I think that's a trend that I would like to see go away in 2004. Just give us a little width on the phone. I mean, it's not going to be that much of a difference we're talking about. I mean, I don't know if...
So you're talking to Apple specifically?
Not so much Apple. I mean, they're kind of leading the way, but, everybody tends to take what Apple does and then design their phones around that. They may not want to admit that, but that's what they do.
Yeah.
So if this is me taking a direct shot at Apple, then so be it. But I would just like to see phones go back to being a little bit thicker in size.
What would you say the V10 is thick enough? And it only has 3,000 milliamp, I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I still don't think that's for that phone.
I mean,
that
until battery technology improves to where it's affordable, make the phones a little thicker. It's not such a bad thing. That's what I'm saying.
I don't think that's gonna happen though. I think they're really onto that whole quick charge, fast charging thing. That gimmick is like flying for them. I think it's a horrible thing. But
I mean,
I'll be carrying my battery charger, my battery packs till then.
Yeah.
It ain't gonna happen.
Well, I mean, it was a wishful thought, wishful thinking. But it's something that I would like to see go away. And we're just talking about millimeters here. Just something to you could house. If you think about it, if you make the phone just a little bit thicker, it makes it easier to hold, and you get more battery. When they're too thin, they're impossible to hold. And I'm a guy that doesn't like cases, and when these phones get so thin, you're almost forced to put it in a case just to be able to hold it in your hand with some, sense of comfort that the phone won't slip out of your hand because it's entirely too thin. I don't know. That's just me.
Isha, kind of quiet over there.
Well,
what's up?
I mean, the biggest thing I think with phones, battery is just always going to be an issue until, like you said, they make them bigger. And I, for one, am that person when I'm out and about looking for a charger, pulling out my battery pack, realizing that before an event, I didn't charge it. So I don't think battery is going to be the driving factor for consumers, though. I think if size wasn't an issue, if I can slip it in my front pocket for women or my back pocket for men, that's not going to be an issue. I think what the biggest issue is going to be is the capacity. And I only say that because no matter how big of a phone that I get, I'm always running into some type of data transfer issue.
Well, yeah, I mean, I think storage, nowadays, I mean, really, storage is only really an issue with Apple. They have the biggest issue with
says
storage.
The Apple girl. I'm showing my colors.
Samsung has followed suit in regards to clip. Well, actually, a couple of companies have followed suit in regards to clipping expandable storage. So,
right.
Expandable storage is now a rare commodity in these devices these days.
Well, you have people like.
I think if.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I was gonna say
there's
people who are they're capitalizing on that. They have those little micro USB, expandable memory with either the Lightning port or the micro USB port, and so people are not. They're not going. There's a few. I think Kingston has that too.
Another one. Toshiba has one. Yeah. Sure.
So there's a solution. I use that lightly for everything. So I don't think that they're gonna go now for the build. Everything's gonna be how the phone is built, and they are sacrificing a lot of things for it. And I think that, we're soon gonna see, we're not gonna have the option of expandable memory on a high end.
Yeah.
I don't mind that so much. I mean, speaking for me personally, I'm a guy that tends to, constantly manage my data. My data. Well, my data in terms of the storage.
Right.
But for those that don't, I think as long as most companies, with the exception of Apple, phone manufacturers have kind of standardized storage at about 32 gigs, which is really more than enough. I think just don't make the difference in price from 32 to 64 to 128 so exorbitant. I think that's the big thing. Like you can easily go from a $400 phone to a $700 phone just because you're going from 32 gigs to 128 gigs. I think that's a huge, huge difference in cost. I mean, if you buy a flash drive and you buy 32 gig and 128 gigs, you may not see that big of a difference. So I don't understand why it's so significant, with phone storage. But, they got to get rid of 16 gigs, but for the most part, only Apple does that. So manage your data. Manage your data and your storage. That's the best way to really kind of defeat it.
Google Photos has saved my life.
Yeah, Google Photos is a lifesaver.
I back up like every other hour. Like every time I'm on Wi-Fi, I just turn it on, and I don't care if it's a crappy photo. I go back in later and delete blurries or whatever. But without Google Photos, I came in clutch this year with that whole thing. Yes, they did, right?
And they added the option to go into your device and wipe out copies of storage. So pretty much basically a way to free up on your phone storage and just have it live on the cloud. It's just beautiful.
Yeah, Google Photos is a lifesaver because sometimes, if not for storage, I find myself, accidentally deleting photos on my phone, and then I remember I had Google Photos. I'm like, oh crap, I thought I deleted it. So Google Photos is a lifesaver. So definitely get involved in that if you don't already. So
yeah, we got a question from J Mills. What up, J Mills? You really should have just been on here, but that's cool. Says, do you feel devices need to sacrifice expandable memory / removable battery, a la Galaxy S6 Note 5 line, or can still do it all V10 G4?
They can do it all. They know they can.
Yeah, I mean they used to. I mean, think of the Galaxy. Think of the other previous Galaxies. They used to do it.
Just think of the Note 4.
That too. There you go.
That's
why a lot of people kept their Note 4. Oh, Note 5, I gotta.
That's why I still have it. Think of the Note 4. You can get all three. You can get aesthetics. You can get expandable storage. You can get, good battery life. But, it's a lot of it is corporate politics. But that's another show. But you can get all three. You can.
Yeah. They're trying to push a standard, just like
you can
push a standard that doesn't really mean anything, rather than like push a standard like USB-C, which is actually
just like you could make the the 100-mile to the gallon car, but there's politics behind that, so it's how it goes. But yeah, you can definitely get all three. They can do it. There's no question on my mind.
Yeah.
I wonder, like, how annoyed were people, or did people? Were they really aware of how much storage they were using until they said, well, can't expand? And they're like, wait a minute. Because I don't feel like that was the deal breaker before when you got a phone. It would be, I prefer a Samsung build over an HTC build. Or, like, I prefer the camera and I'm willing to not to get this phone because of the camera. And before I'm talking about like last year, not this year. So this year when they're saying like, oh, we don't have that option anymore, and they're like, wait a minute, how? And you start thinking like, do I use up to 32 gigs? Should I get the 64? Should I get the 128? Or am I going to? Is it going to be too little for me? Like, were people so aware? Were they not aware? That's what I was always wondering, because I wasn't that aware.
Yeah, I think most people weren't aware. I think it was one of the things where people griped crazy, but they still bought it. Most people still conformed and bought it. There were a few that probably held off and was like, nope, I'm sticking with what I got. But everybody else, they bitched and moaned, but it was like, click, let me get this new device. And they rolled with it. They adapted and they sucked it up. They were like, yeah, I ain't got my storage.
That's pretty much
the camera dope though.
Well, I mean, LG was smart with that. I feel like that's one of the reasons their sales went up.
Oh, with the
Like
V10, yeah, the V10
they,
sales went crazy. I'm like,
I
wow.
mean, I mean, they were a little late with the V10, having that G4, and then they did that with the V10, but that's a whole other thing. But like they were smart. Like, let's give them this option. Let's promote this great camera. Let's promote the removable battery and the expandable storage. And I feel like they're like, wait, somebody does have all three things that we need.
Yeah, let
Yeah,
us be the one to give it to you, because nobody
yeah.
else
Mhm.
want to do it.
The only
We,
thing that people may look at the V10 and say is I don't like the design, but and of course that's personal preference. But the LG does give the V10 does give you all three of those. But that's the exception, not the rule now. You know,
yeah,
that's just it's new world now, new world order.
yeah. Global
New
warming, 70-degree
world order.
Christmas. Other insert
But
conspiracy
who
theories
knows,
here.
man? Who knows?
Um,
Retro was always possible. So and it's always popular. So who knows?
yeah,
Maybe come 2016, somebody will say, you know what? I kind of want to go back to the way things were before and kind of bring that to the table. And if it turns out to be a popular thing, who knows? We may see expandable storage rear its head again.
So
Who
what
knows?
apps do you guys use to manage your storage or
Um,
your stuff, your media or whatever you?
uh,
yeah. Go
Well,
ahead, Mike.
I'll set it off. I kind of use Dropbox in conjunction with my Android device manager for Mac. Because I like to change, like my movies and music often. Most of the music that I listen to, is cloud-based, so it's either going to be Spotify um, or PowerAmp. So I manage my data through Android Device Manager and other things through Dropbox. That's it for me. I don't use Google Drive too much. I don't use maybe just Google Photos, but other than that, Google Photos, Dropbox, and Android Device Manager.
Right, Keisha?
Um, Go ahead, Keisha. Oh, that's you on me though.
No, I guess I'm the Apple girl in the group. So, of course,
Oh
I
yeah,
have
this
the
is
storage
important for you.
issues. Yes, it is. So I guess I have a two-part system. Anything that I shoot or record, I then transfer over to Dropbox. Any photos that I have, I'll push over to Flickr because that way it's easier to pull and view them. And then Flickr does this auto cleanup, very similar to what you all were describing about Google Drive, where it just kind of deletes photos that are already there. Now, granted, it's you know, Flickr is one of those products that it's hit or miss. It's always in
Mm.
beta, always. Um, but and then if anything that I've pushed to Dropbox, I then move over to Cloud Drive and edit it from my computer, and I can access that from my phone.
Okay. For me, I don't really have a manage. I really don't have much to manage. I mean, when I had an iPhone, I was rocking out iTunes and buying music and have whatever previous music I have loaded up now. Everything's on Google Music, Google Photos. I had a Dropbox, but it got full, so I stopped using that now. Any other storage is on Google Drive, and yeah, that's it. In regards to like movies and such, since I have multiple devices, I can chop it up a little bit. Like I can, like my OnePlus One, which is like pretty much my home media device. I just throw all my movies or whatever I want to watch on there, and then if I'm going on a trip, I'll transfer them to a tablet or something. But other than that, that's pretty much all I use.
I mean, we're all fortunate in that regard.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
For
So, but
those who don't, they're probably just sticking, with one app. We're probably walking around with two or three phones at any given time. So we could designate a movie phone or a music phone or anything like that. So we're lucky
first
in that.
world problem.
Yeah, very proper.
Yeah.
What about you,
Anna,
Anna?
you asked the question.
Oh, I am very horrible with storage. I definitely have like everything on Google Play Music, all my music, all of it, like all of it. And I pay for Google Drive, also extra storage. I use Dropbox, like just because I'm lazy and it does it automatically. And I've gotten addicted to photos this year. Um, it's not even just the storage of photos, but it's just the assistant feature that it has. And
Oh
Keisha, you
yeah.
gotta get on it. But it's
Give
really,
it a
really
shot. I mean, it's
no,
you know, it's
like I
that.
use it on iPhone, so
I've never.
it's
Mm-hmm.
really good. It's really, really
Okay.
good. It's
Yeah.
the assistant is really, really fun. Because for example, as you know, I don't, well, many, not just me. Okay, so we all take like if we take a selfie, we take more than one, and they'll do like a
Right.
GIF, let's say, of all the selfies. They'll put like all the four selfies like in a GIF motion, or it will blend the best of two or three pictures, or it'll stylize a picture. It's really cute, but yeah, it's made. I think it's made me use more media. Like I take pictures like whatever. It doesn't bother me at all.
Mm-hmm.
Download it.
Cool.
Best
Yeah,
app
I don't
ever.
know.
What do you guys like use on your desktops? Because the desktop now strangely is kind of an extension of your phone as opposed to the other way around. But so what are you guys using on your desktops? Or what did you
OneDrive.
use
Oh
this
my
year on
Uh-oh.
my desktop?
Uh-oh.
Hmm? What?
night.
Uh-oh.
Huh?
Oh my. Okay, you're getting choppy and a little bit choppy.
Who, me?
Yeah.
Yes.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we hear you.
Yeah, you're good.
Yeah, you're good
Okay.
I
now.
I use OneDrive on my desktop because I use a Surface Pro 3, so the whole Windows thing and just goes well. I've been using that for a while. I don't even know. Lord knows like how many pictures I have in there because I just let it upload everything. Everything.
That's it? That's all you use on your desktop?
Because OneDrive I can put on any phone. It works on Windows Phone, on Android,
Well,
and on
I don't necessarily mean just storage. I mean like what were your like your primary go-to apps, that you would say that you've used or you use for the most part, on a desktop. That's it. OneDrive. You turn on your computer, it's OneDrive. Turn it off.
yep, OneDrive and a Seagate wireless that hard drive. But that's it. Pretty much it.
Boy. What about you,
I use
Keisha?
Dropbox for everything. I pay for unlimited storage. So
Mm.
there's that.
You mean to tell me you guys turn on your computers and all you use is
Yeah.
OneDrive and Dropbox?
Well, I mean, I'm trying to think of how
What do
often
you
I
use?
actually get on my computer. If I'm surfing, I'm
Yes.
sitting on
Has
the
it
couch.
gotten
I'm
this
surfing on
bad?
my phone.
Have our phones taken over our lives to this degree?
Yes.
Oh
To
yeah.
an
Oh my
extent, yeah, you know
goodness.
that. I mean, for me, it's not that much different. I mean, I use Google Music. It's pretty much the same thing I use. iMovie when I'm editing stuff. I don't. Yeah, only reason I use it for work.
Exactly. You get on
I
your
have like
computer to edit
I have like
videos, and that's
20,
it.
20 Chromes. Yeah, like I have 20 Chrome tabs up at any given time.
Oh my goodness. Am I the only desktop whore here? Oh my God.
What do you use, Mike?
Well, we
What
about to
don't
get a new
I?
one in a minute.
Boy.
There she is. What's up?
Hi, Tori.
Can't hear you though.
There you go. You
Uh
look
oh.
like you just walked in, you didn't take off your coat or nothing. I can't hear her.
Yeah. Try plugging in.
I have a question. What do you guys think who went down this year, or like, or you let us down?
Apple. Apple
Yes.
by far.
Yes.
Yeah.
That watch. Oh my God.
I mean, yeah, that watch. I mean,
That
what was
watch.
Really?
that was?
You ain't like to watch? I'm not saying
No,
I'm all for it, but
it's sitting in a
um,
box on my dresser.
oh, you have it and not be to use it. Then that's
Not even
crazy.
using it.
Anna wanted. She's like, oh, I'll buy it off of
But the Apple Watch,
Hmm.
you.
Yeah.
I just think the 360 and the Samsung Gear 2 are a little bit better. Um, and it's not just because I'm a team Android guy. It's just I just think they're just a little bit better. I think they're nicer looking, and I think if you're an Android user, you would get more out of that than you would if you were an iPhone user and you had an Apple Watch. That's just my opinion. Obviously, if you're an Apple Watch owner, you may feel different. But, for me, I don't know. I'm not a big fan of the Apple Watch. I think Apple, my expectations for that watch, didn't
higher than what you
match
got.
what
Right.
I got, what we got, yeah. And I thought the iPad Pro was average. It was average at best. I mean, I know, they're trying to kind of push this productivity thing on us and this artsy thing, but isn't that what the iPad kind of always was? And then now you're alienating a whole group of people that may want it, because you're kind of saying to us indirectly, this is for the artsy people, this is for the creative people, these are for the architects of the world. That's a fringe group. And then they kind of topped it all off with that really shitty battery case that they came out with.
Oh my
yeah.
God.
Yeah.
I thought that was a joke.
That was kind of that was kind of the icing on the cake, so to speak. I mean, that was really bad. I'm like, I mean, really? Like, this is the best you guys could come up with? Like, you guys created the iPad. This is the best that you could do? I mean, you couldn't steal somebody's idea and improve on it?
Yeah, I know the Mophie team has been laughing at that. Like, yo, what is this?
I mean, come on. Like, I mean, if I see anybody with that, I just know you are just an applehead, and there's nothing that I can do to save you. I can't save you. I mean, for me, Apple, you guys went down this year. I'm not hating you guys.
But hey, you got valid points.
It's the truth. As an Apple Watch owner and Apple girl, I was very disappointed.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a Mac head. I'm not an Apple head. But Apple was a little disappointing this year, surprisingly so. But they're not the richest company in the world for no reason, so I'm sure they'll get back to the drawing board, and do something. I'm sure they'll have a new MacBook coming for 2016, so I'm kind of waiting on that. The iMac is always going to be Apple Watch 2. The iMac is always a great desktop to have, if not the best, depending on who you ask. So hopefully Apple can kind of clean up after themselves, come 2016.
Tori, what up?
They said, oh, sorry. You there, Tori?
I
still can't hear
you.
We don't hear you.
I can't hear you. I'm interested in hearing what you got to say. I can't hear her.
Tori got a lot to say. For Apple, aren't they coming out like with the 6C allegedly in the beginning of the year, or is that still?
Supposedly.
Yeah, I saw that rumor.
Yeah, supposedly that.
Like, are they gonna try to compete in the low-end market for real? Like, really?
They say that, but I don't think the pricing will allude to that, because usually they usually have premium pricing. So if it's a 6C and say it's like something silly like an 8 gig storage, 16 gig storage, and it starts at $100, then all right, storage is shitty, but you're trying to compete. Anything else, just like, it's just another phone. It's just a smaller phone if you're trying to sell at like the price you would sell an older. Whose music is that?
Mine. I'm turning it off. Sorry.
Oh, okay.
I was giving you background music.
No, that's cool. No, I just like, am I hearing music? I hit my head or something. No, it's cool. You can leave it up. I'm just saying. But don't try and sell it for the price you would sell last year's 6 and call it a budget device, which they'll probably wind up doing. Tori, you want to try again?
Yeah, I can't hear Tori.
Yeah. Try to sign out and sign back in. Who else do you think went down? Who else? Keisha, you got You got any thoughts?
Hmm?
Anybody? Who else? Who else kind of let us down this year?
To a certain
I'll say
degree,
Apple was on my list.
I think um, I think what LG did with the V10 was kind of shitty. They should have made that the G4 from the onset. I thought that was kind of a shitty thing to do. Um,
Yeah.
if you're going to give us the V10, why not give us that, from the onset? You know,
Yeah.
if I
Especially
were,
so close
especially
from
so
the
close
G4
and
launch.
released from one another. Like if I was,
Yeah.
if I, it's kind of like what Apple did with the iPad 3. You know, remember that they made an iPad
Yes.
3,
It was
and
like
then
4 months later. Hmm. Sorry.
really, it's like if I were a G4 owner, I would be compelled to never get another LG phone again. Just based on that. So you're basically telling me you sold me a phone, that's just okay, but we have a way better one for the same price that
It'll
does
be out in like a
everything that
month or
this
two.
phone that you just bought doesn't do. I mean, that was kind of a shitty thing to do. So, LG, thumbs down to you for that one. I thought, and the
Yeah.
V10 is a great phone, but they get a thumbs down for me for that one.
Well, they still have a little bit of work to do on the B10, I think. Well,
They-
my review
they-
will be up shortly, but uh, the overheating, well, like for use, like for what they promote, which is what is it, manual camera settings and this rear key and spectacular, and then you try to use it and you get what 10 minutes of footage. I haven't gone that far, but I see the battery just going and going. God forbid
Oh
you're
dang.
outside and you need the brightness up. Like, nope. And your finger's about to get burned on the rear key is super like overheated. Unless it's just my phone. But it only happens then. Like if you're into heavy usage, um, you will know that you're using a lot of stuff or something's going on your battery on the B10.
Hmm.
But overall, I like the whole device it is kind of solid. So, with little things here and there.
What are you guys' thoughts on the HTC One A9?
I like the HTC, 1A9. I think it's definitely, a better mid-range phone than, the OnePlus X. HTC didn't cut as many corners with the A9 as OnePlus did with the X. It's actually a phone I would recommend. If
Yeah,
someone asked me,
I feel the same way,
to be
but I just
completely honest.
yeah, I was just curious you guys' thoughts because on paper and you see it, you're like, what the hell? And then you play with it and use it, it's like, yo, it's totally bad.
Yeah, I
Well,
mean,
At
I have.
least
when I went to go see it, I had that exact same feeling. Like you look at it on paper, like, but then you play with it, be like, this is not that bad at all. It's really a nice phone. It really is. So
and you
it's
were
a phone
saying,
I would recommend for a mid-range phone if someone asked.
That's what I was gonna say. Yeah, and from what I've seen or heard and things like that, it's pretty smooth. I'm a camera person, so if you're a camera person, I wouldn't recommend it. But that's like HTC cameras. Like if you know HTC cameras, it's there with what HTC cameras are. But for a mid range, it does get the job done. And I don't know if I've seen enough promotion for it. I don't know
yeah,
if that's the case. I mean, I haven't seen anything. Like I wonder who they're trying to market it to.
yeah,
Any type of
Hopefully, people that haven't had the M8 yet, because
M9.
It's the M9 now.
yeah. But the camera isn't that bad. It's actually it might be their best camera of the date, which is
Yeah, it really isn't a bad camera. I mean, it'll get the job done. It's not a bad camera.
they it seems like their lens is whatever they use the lens is the same, but they up their image rendering software to kind of catch up. So
Yeah, they definitely did the consumer, a service, with the A9. It's definitely a good phone. Definitely. OnePlus X, great looking, unimpressive. You know, too many cons as opposed to pros. So, you know, I wouldn't recommend that one. But I guess what do you want for $250? Who knows?
You can buy an Xbox for that.
I mean, yeah, you know, ultimately, but that's it for me. Microsoft and LG were my thumbs down, you know, for the year. They kind of pissed. Not Microsoft, Apple.
No, I'm like,
Microsoft is riding a serious wave right now. Yeah, I meant Apple and LG. They were kind of on my shit list this year. You know, if I had to put it that way, then I would say Apple and LG. They were definitely on my shit list this year.
Okay, my question is, I wanted to ask, I never really asked this. The rear key on the LG, really? Like, do you think is gimmicky, or is that what, like, let's say LG had everything that they have on these phones, but they they had like keys on the side, as like opposed to the back they had them around. Do you think the sales would go up?
I don't think that'll make it. I don't think that'll make that big of a difference. But who knows? That could be like the thing that changes the game for them. Just spitballing.
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yes, finally.
Finally.
Jeez. Yeah.
Okay, so what were we last talking about?
What would you say?
Down.
Who's kind of on your shit list this year? We'll put it that way.
It has to be shitless completely, or who disappointed, or who didn't live
Well,
up.
I mean,
Who
okay.
just failed? The fails of the year.
Wait.
Oh.
It's gone. No. No.
I am
There you
talking
go.
to you on a Mac. I don't understand why the Mac was not working. But I think that Apple has been on my shit list for like the last 3 or 4 years. Maybe it's just 2. Only because they have like reached a plateau of innovativeness, like you were talking about the iPad Air and like isolating people out. They just suck really in general. So I don't have great. I think if you stop having great expectations for Apple, people have like this high standard. Like if all of the other phones are here, you're like, oh, this is an iPhone. This is here, and it's really like, I don't know how they've managed to do that, but yeah, I hate them. So, and then what else were we talking about? People that I was a little disappointed in HTC this year with their offerings, because usually they're the underdog that comes out swinging, and then they came out, and I was like, oh, okay. I was very.
What about the A9?
It was alright.
It's just it's alright.
I haven't. Real talk.
Pettywop.
He is Pettywop. Real talk. There is no phone that I felt like came out this year that I felt like was like bomb diggity. Granted, I haven't reviewed as much as I have, but I go into stores and like play with them a little bit, and I just be like, oh, okay. Like I usually get every note that comes out. I've had every note since Note 2. I am like, oh, I haven't had a Note 5, but it's just like the Note 4 I have. So it's really like I'm not missing a whole lot.
Yeah.
No, you ain't missing shit.
I think the days of when we see phones drastically change from one year to the next are over, because what's really next? You know, how far can you push the envelope? So I think we should just gradually begin to lower our standards so that way we don't end up disappointed, you know, all year. I mean, what else can they really do, you know, other than incorporate VR into a smartphone at this point?
No, for real. And so that, I mean,
You know, so my expectations are low going into 2016.
Yeah. And that's something to say to the consumers and whoever's watching and listening. Definitely manage your expectations. If 2015 proves anything, that whatever you expecting, you're probably not going to get, or you probably
At all.
You're going to get let down.
Yeah. Oh, boy, oh boy. Well, here's a question. You know that I have. I'll start with Tori because you know she got here kind of late, so I kind of want to hear what she has to say. What was the best or your favorite, you know, device that you got to review this year that you could say, you know what, I loved, you know, using and reviewing this device?
Let me say this. It was an extremely latecomer to this, but I was very surprised at how much I like the Samsung Edge. Not the best device in terms of, but
Edge, Edge 6 Edge Plus?
yes, the 6 Edge Plus. Um, because it's one of the first phones that I can say design-wise can compete with people's perception of what the iPhone brings. Um, so if I'm talking about it, not from a spec-wise, but like design-wise, people were like, "What phone is that? That looks dope. I should have got that one instead of getting this one." So if I had to say what was my favorite, it would be the 6 Plus, and it is the phone that came out the last in the year. I did have a few others that I liked, but not ones that I felt like it was nice enough to get somebody to switch. Like for real, I've had like Apple people saying to me, "I should have got that phone. I wish I would have saw that when I was in the store." Blah blah blah.
Right.
Because now we're talking specs. They all have the same specs. They all do the same thing. They all gonna take great pictures. Your sound gonna be great. It's gonna be stupid fast with this new Snapdragon chip. So I really am looking from a design aspect of it, and I'm still using the 6 Edge. I don't know what I just did with it. I think I left it at my mom's house
Oh,
from earlier. But yeah, so that's why I picked that one. What would you pick?
I guess I would have to, just kind of, fall in line with you and say, my favorite. It's kind of a tie between, the Note 5 and the Moto 360. Those were the devices that I had the most fun with. Um,
Yeah.
and it was a new experience for me as a smartwatch, owner. I've never owned a smartwatch. Um, and like I said, anybody that knows me, can know that I've kind of loathed them, for a while because I've never, saw them to be purposeful devices. Even with the Moto 360, I still don't see it as a purposeful device, but it does, serve a purpose.
It looks slick on your arm. You know what I'm saying?
Slick on my arm, and it does serve, a purpose. Occasionally I just find it to be, smartwatch to be a nuisance, but it was the most fun between that and the Note 5. That was it, for me. Those are devices I had the most fun, reviewing.
Yeah, I use my Moto 360 all the time, especially in the summertime when I was riding my bike, like all the time. Like that, me and Striver, that was like the hit, because I could just take one hand up and do this and still be steering. So, yeah.
Yeah, and I've reviewed a ton of devices this year, but those are my favorites. What about you, Rod?
6P all day. Love that thing.
That's it, huh? That's your favorite gadget?
Because you know what? I'm gonna tell you why. Because all right, you got Huawei coming in, which is like, okay, like they do stuff. Like all right, their stuff is decent, but definitely when you think of a Nexus device, your bar is kind of low, especially after the last few. So when you get something a little premium that actually could kind of contend with some of the premium high tier guys, it's like, it's actually pretty good. Looks good, feels good. Got the dual speakers, camera's pretty dope. I'm in. Oh, great battery life. So yeah,
Keisha,
got,
what was your
got
favorite?
everything I need.
My favorite gadget, because I'm going completely away from
Yeah,
phones.
a gadget that
Yeah.
overall.
I loved the GoPro Hero with the LCD screen, and I only say that because I got a chance to review a ton of cars this year, and being able to kind of track what I was doing with the GoPro on the dash, and then being able to review it with the touchscreen, it was perfect. So something very simple. I've used GoPros in the past, but this particular one that they just started selling in June was just
Is that the 4?
The Hero 4, I think.
the GoPro with the LCD screen. Yeah,
I think it's the Hero 4. Yeah,
This is the Hero 4. This is the black edition or the silver?
it's silver.
probably the silver. Yeah.
Anna?
I think I'm with you, Mike. I love the Moto 360. Well, you know that it's my third one, so I love Moto Maker is a win, like it's a go. Um, and I'm a Note girl, I have every Note 1, 2, 3, 4, and now 5, and the gold version. I always carry the Note with me. I will say, I know you guys might disagree. I do love my iPhone 6s Plus.
Yeah, I was waiting for that because I was waiting for that.
It's rose gold, and yeah, it seems like something minor, but you have a lot of phones to pick from and choose. The color might be the deal breaker at that point. I love the Touch ID. I am always with a million things in my hand and being able to just knock it right here, and it's so fast. Like it's so fast. You can't even see notifications on Touch. What is like second gen Touch ID, whatever it's called. So yeah, that's a job done. And then my case is cute too. So that's all that. I mean, I have a favorite for everything.
You also have a crazy dog.
No, that's Jason's company.
Yeah, that's why he muted himself. He's about to come jump in, and the dog was like, "Me first."
Shadow. That is not. My dog does not sound like that.
No, I was making a joke. You know, Jacob be in here. He would sound like a little human. So.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of gadget wise. Plantronics headphones. They were
Which
going
one's the
for me.
backbeats?
Yeah, the Backbeat Pro or the Backbeat Sense. I mean, depending if it's cold.
Yeah.
Those Backbeat Pros in the winter we had earlier, like January, February, they were the best earmuffs I ever had. With the software, with the mic, you don't have to take them off. They kept you warm. And now with the Sense, they were light for like the end of summer, fall. They were good. I'm trying to think of every gadget, every category. Speakers, UE Mega Boom.
You said the Mega Boom?
Yeah. The roll too, but when I'm cleaning and blasting music, the Mega Boom is huge, is loud, and it's waterproof. Kill it.
Yeah, I can agree with you on that. I don't have a Mega Boom. I have a Boom 2, but that little thing is loud as hell.
When you
Yeah.
compare them,
Yep.
360
Another
sound is
one.
pretty good.
Stereo all day.
Loud as hell. What about you, Mills? I see you're here.
Yeah.
Speak up, brother. Join
Favorite
the group.
gadget of 2016 that you reviewed or?
Oh, that'd be the drone.
What drone is that, sir?
Unique drone. 4K.
The Typhoon 4K.
Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty fun though. I mean, if you ever use a drone, I mean, you have the remote control, the drone, and everything like that. It's pretty fun to mess with. But you get 2 batteries.
Did you register it?
I swear I was about to say the same thing.
Nah, I'm gonna do it today.
You got to February.
Better.
That
You
fine
better.
is
It's talking about $30,000 fine.
the fine's kind of bananas. So yeah.
30,000.
Yeah,
Or like 2,
I don't
3
want
years,
that.
3 months
Really?
prison.
Yeah, it's like a $30,000 fine if you don't register it.
Yeah. If you don't register, then you try to use it. Yeah, they're
I'll be
fine.
doing that before I leave for CES.
Yeah, definitely.
The drone is fun. It's great, and I see why Jason loves it. But because of where I live, and the drone is so good that it has the FAA rules or whatever,
Regulations on it.
safety, I can't fly it. I have to go out of my way to be able to fly it
Yeah, me
because it
too.
says this is a
Yeah,
no
me
fly
too.
zone.
I live in 2 flight paths. I live in LaGuardia Airport's flight path and JFK's flight path. So I can't fly a drone at all. I have to go to like another borough or somewhere deep in Queens, where Michael Myers is probably at to fly a drone. So
Yeah, that's the only thing with them. Yeah, you have to be in a certain area to fly them, unless you live, in California or Long Island or somewhere where there's no planes. But New York City is real hard to figure out where to fly them at.
Playing heavy. All right. So what was the surprise? We talked about what was worse. What was the surprise thing of 2015? PC tech company, whatever. Like what was like? Oh yeah, I got that all.
what was a surprise gadget you said?
Gadget or some or whatever a company did, either or.
All
Or
right,
something you really,
it's going to sound really corny. I'll set this off. For me, as a gamer, Final Fantasy VII Remake. For me, that was the biggest shock of the year, and then actually seeing the gameplay.
Yeah, that looks bananas.
For me, that was big. Between that and probably the Surface Book,
Yeah, I was gonna say Surface Book.
that was it for me. So my inner nerd came out. Everybody's probably looking at me like, "Oh God," but yeah, that was it for me.
Your Surface Book was big. Like when we were at the launch, and they had that Pro 4 video. Okay, we expected that. And then that thing came out. That video, I was like, what?
Yeah,
Okay, I
I
see
remember
what
the
you're
video
doing.
came on. A lot of people thought they were showing the Surface 4 video again in the Surface Book, and you're like, oh shit.
Pretty dope. I'll say Motorola was really good with consistency, but they did that thing again where like the Moto Droid Turbo 2 kills the Pure X.
Yeah.
I mean, that wasn't a surprise, but like, damn, again, like really.
Sure.
But
But I
they
will
were good for
say,
Moto Maker
but I
too.
will say the Moto X, but I will say the Moto X is a lot better running Marshmallow. Like I use it daily now
It's a lot better than
because
what?
of Marshmallow.
A lot
Now that
better.
it has the Marshmallow update,
Oh, okay.
I use the 20s the Pure Edition. I use this thing every day now.
Yeah, that new Moto X is a serious phone, and it's not gonna break your bank. I mean, they've definitely stepped it up a little bit to where it's viable. It's a viable contender, to the quote unquote high end phones. Like the Note 5 and the iPhones. It's up there. It had, a couple of improvements, here and there, and you can easily, kind of put them in the same sentence, before too long. A lot of these phone companies, they're stepping up. So
Yeah.
Apple and Samsung, they should be on high notice at this point.
Also, Moto has the Moto Maker on their, as a plus.
They put that in everything this year,
Yeah,
as
and
they
they
should
had
have.
the Moto
Yeah, that
G.
Moto Maker is so dope. It's so much fun.
Customization is the key, man.
Yeah, it's so much fun.
That's why I started wearing the 360 again. People are like, yo, where'd you get that from?
Yeah,
But
when I get that too when I have my 360 and be like, oh, where'd you get that? And I made it on Moto Maker. It's a lot of fun. So kudos to
trying to
Motorola.
explain
Man.
people what Moto Maker is, like, no, it's not an Apple Watch.
Nah,
Huawei came in. I think Huawei did good coming up the ladder.
Huawei was a surprise company
yeah,
last year. They did pretty good.
That's
the watch
6P.
and
That's
The
six
the
6P,
speed.
watch
the
and the
watch,
6P.
Yeah, and the
the
watch
watch
is
with no
good.
flat tire, the
Yeah,
P8, P8 Lite. Well, not the Lite. Okay, I say P8.
Yeah, PA Lite and yeah, the 6P. You can't beat the 6P.
yeah. I mean, I'm not a big fan of the watch, but that 6P is definitely a beauty. Um, they definitely said a lot with that this year. Surprisingly to me, because I've seen things phones that they've done previously, and I was kind of like, this looks like shit. It's a little cheap looking. And then you can tell that it took a company like Google to come in and say, hey, we need a serious kick-ass phone for them to kind of get in gear and do what we know a lot of these companies are capable of with the right motivation. So it was good for Huawei to kind of come forth and put out that 6P. It was definitely a dope phone. Definitely
True.
dope.
Keisha, what's up?
So moving away from gadgets, I think something that really surprised me this year was the fresh content that Netflix offered. I'm a big Netflix girl. I'm a big cord cutter, big proponent for all of that. So I have Netflix and Hulu and Amazon and all of those streaming services, and I think Netflix for some reason just stood out with all of the Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt and all of their original content that they had this year.
Yeah, House of Cards. Even though
Jessica Jones.
Jessica freaking
Daredevil.
Jones.
I actually like Jessica Jones more than Daredevil, but I
Yeah,
appreciate them both.
Jones was definitely dope.
Yeah.
Definitely dope.
Don't watch it at night, but it was definitely.
It's not scary.
I am one of those people. I can't do it. I live by
Oh
myself.
yeah.
I hear
I mean, the way they
noises.
introduce your man, he was kind of like, yo.
Luke Cage in the house.
He
But
just goes,
you know what I think was kind of a bit of a sleeper, even though it wasn't really this year, but it's kind of had, an emergence, and it's probably to be talked about, even though it's not something that we suggest everybody do. Kodi software. If you're using like a modded, Apple
Yeah.
or Fire Stick,
Yeah.
you kind of have to give a nod to it, man. I mean, a lot of people are using it.
Yeah, they are.
A lot of people are using it, whether you want to admit it or not. But it's a lot of people are using it. As an alternative to cable.
Yeah.
It's big, and I think it's something that I should mention. I know a lot of people have it. Even supplementing. I myself have been guilty of using it. So.
Yeah, everybody that has a Fire TV probably has
So
Kodi.
I definitely want to give that an honorable mention.
I had a few people who came up to me and was like, well, so what do you think about that Kodi? What do you think about that Genesis? And, they all have different names, but all do the same thing. And I say, you know what? If that's what you want to do, that's fine. But remember, at some point, it is kind of illegal.
I mean, it is. I'm not. Well, again, I'm not necessarily here saying.
I'm all for it. I still download illegally, so.
I'm not saying. I'm not.
She said it, not me.
No, I mean, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that it. I mean, let's be honest. I mean, it's out there. And if you're somewhat, you don't even necessarily have to be a complete nerd or a geek. I mean, but about it.
Right.
Everybody's trying to find different ways to kind of save and cut costs. And what better way to do so by having access to the software that gives you, almost an unlimited, database of your favorite TV shows and movies and sporting events and things like that. So that's why I was just kind of bringing it into the fray of saying, it's something that should be spoken about. I mean, it's out there. It is. People are using Netflix, Hulu, and Kodi. It's one of the three.
Right.
It really is. I mean, at least as I see it, somebody's going to tell you they're using one of the three, whether they want to admit it or not. But yeah, you're using one of the three.
Mm-hmm. My aunt told me she was watching Concussion on Christmas Day. I said, how? What?
I heard that too. I've heard that from a couple of people. I won't say no names. Yeah. I heard that from a couple of people.
Yeah, I saw the Hateful Eight
I've heard that from a couple of people.
Christmas Eve
Today.
Yeah,
I did watch it on Kodi, but I mean, I watched it.
Yeah,
well, like I said, I'm just throwing it out there because it's out there. I'm just throwing it out there because it's out there. I'm not saying that anybody should do it or use it. Just throwing it out there. There's something out there in the tech world that has come through my airwaves.
It's definitely something that's touched, people who aren't, really into technology. Like I said, I have family members who mentioned watching new movies. And I remember when I stood in line, got the Wii, and hacked my Wii, way, way, way back in the day to be able to play the games that I wanted to play.
Yeah,
so I think it's just coming full circle. It's definitely not told in hushed tones. It's in Facebook groups and forums, in text messages in your home for Christmas.
Let's just be honest, man. Cable is
too damn expensive.
So is internet service. It's expensive. It's expensive. Cable has become, exorbitantly priced, as with internet service, and you feel like you're getting almost nothing for that money. So, people will make adjustments, and Kodi is one of those adjustments. So, cable companies, step your shit up, or at least make it affordable.
Yeah, because this shit is expensive to charge.
It's expensive, and and cable companies, just to be fair to them and play devil's advocate, I used to work for Time Warner. A lot of times these cable companies, they're at the mercy of these networks, but they work in conjunction with one another, and deals can be made. So make the service cheaper. Make the service cheaper. South Korea's internet service is the best in the world. It's not for no reason. The United States is probably one of the most technologically advanced countries in the world, if not the most. So if South Korea can do it, we can do it.
Great.
You say agreed or greed?
Oh, I said preach.
Oh,
sorry. It's
That's
true.
it.
It's true. So.
All right, cool. Well, let's start giving out awards. Who gets the best? For each of you guys, who gets like the best app of the year, game of the year, phone of the year, tablet, all that jazz. So, y'all down with that, or y'all not with it?
Yeah, I'm with that.
He's like, no, I don't do this shit. I'm logging on.
I'm with it. Why not?
All right, let's start off with apps then.
Well, somebody set it off.
Google Photos.
Snapchat.
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 Yes.
Periscope. Yes.
Oh, one, man, one. You're giving out like 3. No, I'm just fine. It's fine.
Well, they all do different things. I guess.
I know. But you got to give somebody gets an award. You can't. Because second place is first loser.
Fine. I guess I changed my mind and I would go Periscope.
Okay.
For me, I would say I gotta say I would say Power Amp.
All right.
Yeah, I listen to a lot of music on my phone, even when I'm in the confines of my house. I don't necessarily turn on a speaker. Power Amp. Yeah, and I can listen to lossless audio, which I've become newly fond of. So Power Amp.
All right. Sounds good. For me, I'm going to say Pocket Casts. So if you're a podcast listener, it's on. I think it's for iPhone.
I am not, but I'll check it out.
I think I've
Yeah, it's a pay. You got to pay for it, but it's a great way. So if you're into podcasts, I'm listening I listen to Combat Jack Show, Juan Epstein, and Joe Budden's podcast and different things. So I love that. You can download it or download the episode or stream it live or whatever and keep it smoking. So for me, that's my award.
I've been a big fan of Swarm again since they added the whole point system back and everybody can check in and you can like battle each other and stuff. It's actually
Our mayorship stack, should I re-download?
yeah, it's pretty fun again. I mean, people giving up locations and where to go at and all that. Because once they got rid of the whole point system and everything, it's kind of the fun out of it.
Yeah, they saw that. They brought that. They were like, wait a minute.
Yeah, because when they separated from Foursquare, it was like nobody wanted to use it because it was pointless. But
Yeah, I probably have to use that more. I'm terrible at Swarm and Foursquare.
You're horrible. That's
Horrible. Utterly horrible.
I ain't about that life. So.
Yeah, I mean, I'm terrible at it. I try my best. I'm terrible. I mean, I have to use Sunrise to manage my life. I'm terrible at Swarm. Mills and Anna are champs at that. Me, I suck. Terrible.
So I guess we'll move on to game. I know not everybody here is a console gamer, or it could be mobile game. Did you?
I'm gonna go with Snapchat. I love Snapchat this year.
Sorry, my bad.
No, you're fine. I mean, I'd heard it and I mentioned it, so I was good. But Snapchat definitely innovating with every update. DJ Khaled is the best person to follow.
Yeah, so keys to success.
Every time I look, I'm like, how does he even keep up? But yeah,
he's
Snapchat
on a jet ski. He's on a jet ski talking about they don't want us to jet ski.
And breakfast, they don't want you to eat good food. Like, what?
Yo, Mike, you got that Snapchat face. Like,
I don't know nothing about Snapchat. I don't even like taking selfies. How am I going to deal with Snapchat?
I mean, it's not all about selfies. I mean, I can tell you, it's gotten better over the years compared to when it came out. 2011, 2012. I mean, it's pretty dope now, though.
I'm horrible with that stuff, man. Man. I mean, I don't watch them. I tried to use Periscope for like a month. I sucked at it. I mean, oh man.
I feel like Periscope
I can't see myself doing.
Do you guys still see a lot of people? I feel like it's slowed down. Like a lot of people aren't using it as much, or maybe I'm just not on it.
Once they put that thing where you could turn off notifications, because before, if you follow someone, you'd get that pop up right away. Like somebody's on.
It's like, oh, you on? Let me go check you out.
But now you can turn that off. And I turned off quite a few people, because I was an addict when it first came out. I admit it. But now Periscope, what's important, or what I think people should see. And you know, if you don't have me, like you turn off notifications, you won't get the notification. But that would be every time somebody came on, it would be on a pop up notification. So you didn't have that option. So people will like watch you and stuff. But I haven't seen much improvement, I guess.
I see that you can now you can do the thing with the feed now. You can like rewind it and fast forward and stuff now.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Get past those no shout outs in the beginning. Mm.
Hmm.
I've got to get my life together. I don't use any of this stuff.
Yes, you
I
do.
feel like I'm out of the loop now. I've got to get it together.
Hey, if you know they
Man,
exist, that's a start.
I have got to get it together. I thought I was good at this until now. Well, boy, oh
Nah,
boy.
you catch up.
I guess
Yeah.
so. I guess so.
It's
I
just
don't
the
know.
key.
I just always seem kind of creepy to me. Do I really want to know what you're doing that bad? You know, is it really? I mean,
This is, yeah,
like
this is,
pretty soon people
yeah.
are gonna start stripping on Periscope and if they're not
If
already.
they're not
Probably,
I
already.
already
they
heard they
probably
are.
already. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
Come
it's
on,
gonna
that's
get
what Snapchat was invented for that.
To
it's
keep it
getting
Quick
crazy.
happening.
and dirty.
You know, it's getting crazy. And my biggest fear is that I'm gonna mess around and Periscope somebody and see the wrong thing, see something I don't have no
Mm,
business.
mm,
So
Well,
I'm
let you
good
do what
on
you're
that one.
doing.
mm.
I definitely don't.
I've gotten more addicted to Snapchat lately. I Snapchat things that I feel I want you to see, but I don't need you to see like in my feed later on, I guess, you know? Like, hey, I'm going to the gym. Here I am. And then that's it.
Pre
You don't,
Yeah,
pre
you're the
workout, so
yeah,
yeah,
you're the
pre workout
pre-workout
responsible
selfie,
one.
selfie,
post
post-workout selfie.
I sweated.
Like,
Yeah,
there's
you're
the
the
proof.
responsible one. It's
Or
the
here's,
irresponsible ones that I'm worried about.
Yeah.
Definitely the irresponsible ones. What about any? Well, I guess there's only really three gamers here. Any games that anybody could say that they loved this year? Um, you know,
Um,
Um,
Tomb Raider.
for me, Destiny. The Taken
yeah,
King, I guess. Taken King
yeah.
from Destiny. Destiny's been
I
out for a
played
while.
that. I play that game religiously. Between that, and this is phone games too, ladies. I mean, if you want to
Yeah,
throw
what
phone
are you
yeah.
trying to
games
say?
in, you
Wait,
can
wait,
throw
whoa,
those in
whoa.
there.
I'll
We
be on
said only
console.
three
If
gamers, though.
Yeah, I throw phone games in there. All right. Well,
yeah,
for
yeah,
me,
yeah, yeah.
it's Destiny Taken King. Um, it's kind of a tie between that and Rocket League. And on my phone, I would have to say SimCity Build It. I'm addicted to the SimCity Build It. Addicted. Addicted. SimCity Build It. I'm talking about I've spent money on that game with
Oh yeah,
microtransactions. Addicted.
Wow.
you got a problem.
Yeah, it's a sickness. It's developed into a sickness now. But my city's dope though. If
I
you've
see I'm
never played
packing yours
SimCity
in.
Build It, definitely play SimCity Build It. And
Yeah.
Star Wars Tower. I had to let that go. It got too crazy.
Mm.
Addiction.
Sound like you play
So,
more mobile than console.
yo, brother. I mean, I remember I would sit on my phone for like 2 hours and play SimCity Build It. There's not a reason to ever be on your phone for 2 hours if you're not talking to someone. And I was doing that, playing SimCity Build It, just to let you know the extent of my insanity.
What's that? What's that? What's that
SimCity
game?
Build It.
Nah, this is Candy Soda Saga. I'm still addicted to the shit.
Need to get a Diamond Digger Saga. It's even better.
Mm.
What's
What
that?
game?
Diamond Digger. You said Candy Soda Saga. I was saying Diamond Digger Saga.
I tried to play that. I had to turn it off. I was like, I can't keep playing too many of these. I was like, I'm just gonna stick with one.
Yeah. And you wonder why you're dying more time. So I guess for me, something that I'm really, besides Diamond Digger Saga, that I love is Warcraft on my phone. If I'm talking gaming, but if I'm talking something that's passing the time while I'm in the doctor's office on my commute, Two Dots. I love
Okay.
Two
I
Dots.
started Two Dots. Two Dots. You'll lose your mind playing that game. I almost broke my phone one time. So pissed.
Yeah, see, that's pretty awesome.
It's an engaging game. You'll lose your mind playing Two Dots. Man, you'll lose your mind.
You lose your mind and your time.
And your time.
You'll look up and be like, where'd the time go?
And I still play Plants vs. Zombies. I don't like the second one as much as I like.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
I'll be right back, guys.
Okay. Mike freezes.
Mike froze. Mike froze. Mike froze.
Anybody else picking up
What's that?
Games?
I don't do mobile gaming. I just don't.
He just watches me play it.
Pretty much. I like lettercraft. I play Sudoku. I'm usually just like texting or reading on my phone.
That's such a brainiac game, Sudoku.
Yeah, I can never get that.
It's not a brainy game. It's not like a logic game. So it's not
Yeah,
like
what's the difference?
Yeah, lettercraft where you have to like create words. Yeah, I like brainy games. Okay.
Yeah, just admit it. Just give in to your nerdism.
I'll give in.
Just give in.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't play. No other games. I used to play the Michael game before. Yeah, no games for me. I'm trying to think. I feel like I used to, but no.
Well, 2016 definitely is going to have a lot of new things coming gaming-wise. So, for those who do game, console-wise and PC-wise, there's going to be a lot that to expect. Mass Effect, Uncharted. Yeah, there's a lot coming. Final Fantasy, Cuphead, Gears 4. Cuphead is the hardest game that you're ever gonna play in your life.
Yeah, but it's awesome.
But it's fun as hell. But it's the hardest game you're ever gonna play in your life. You want to talk about throw your controller at your TV? Cuphead. That's definitely the one. But so many good games, that's coming out in 2016. So it's going to be a good year. Gaming has gotten, progressively better, and it will continue to do so. So 2016.
Especially with Xbox with that backward compatibility.
Right. Well, that still remains to be seen. Backwards compatibility, even as it exists, with PlayStation is pretty bad. To me, I've always been of the mindset if you're going to do backwards compatibility, do it when you have practically the whole library available, and then add as you go along. Don't give us 100 games, and most of them be games nobody really cares to play. Just take your time. Take your time.
There's a Halo Reach or something in there.
I'm just saying. Consoles generally have a shelf life of 7 or 8 years. So dedicate 2 of those years to at least when you're going to introduce backwards compatibility. Introduce it with at least 300 games, so that way you have enough, to feed, the hungry gamer who wants to play those old retro games. Don't giving us like 100 games, is really nothing. By today's standards, gamers are fickle. They'll play one game this minute and they'll want to play another game in another minute. I myself am guilty of that. So it's not enough.
I'm not fickle.
I think the way Xbox is doing it is alright though. They're dropping games here and then they dropped a lot of the popular games like the Gears of War games and so forth. It's getting there. It's not like how PlayStation is doing it. PlayStation's like
well, that's what I'm saying. That's exactly my point. But I'm saying if you're going to introduce it, take the time and just introduce it with an extensive library. Why spoon feed us? I'd rather not be spoon fed. You'll never get through a meal that way. So just give us the whole plate. Like I said, if you have a 7 or 8 year shelf life with a console, take 2 of those years to dedicate to that, and then just drop it on us. Most of the games that gamers are going to be playing are going to be third party. So You know, it's not like you're gonna really, these gaming companies like Sony and Microsoft, they're not going to be dedicating all of their time, on developing games. You have third-party guys for that, so you can definitely do that. I mean, that's just my thought. That's why backwards compatibility. I'm not there yet.
You ain't beat for it yet.
Yeah, I'm not there.
Up when you're not ready.
Yeah, I'm not there yet. They haven't set it up for me, and I think so I don't run my mouth too much. Portables, Sony needs to either scrap the Vita or invest in it.
It's already scrapped, realistically.
Yeah, Vita's dead already.
Yeah, I mean, but just scrap it completely. Don't sell it. Don't do anything with it.
Oh.
Just pull them.
Yeah, just scrap it completely.
Cause at least that false hope that they might actually do something. So.
Yeah, Sony dropped the ball on the Vita big time. They could have really made a killing with the Vita, and they didn't even necessarily have to introduce new games. All they had to do was just introduce popular games made for the Vita. They didn't have to do much. You take a Kingdom Hearts, you take a God of War. You don't want to play God of War on a Vita on that OLED?
Yeah.
Who doesn't want to play that? I mean, come on. It's powerful enough. They made a God of War for the PSP. So imagine the Vita, which is probably 10 times as powerful. I just think they did it just to do it.
That's right. They didn't make one for the Vita, right? That's why they just ported over the PSP one, right? That was it.
Yeah, but then the port over is doesn't even give you a full screen view. So I mean, I don't know. Sony should just scrap it all together.
And Uncharted didn't look all that great on there. I mean, it looked okay, but it could have been much better.
I mean, for what it was worth, Uncharted was one of the better games, on the Vita. It's one of my personal favorites, but there was so much potential with it, and they just didn't even bother to invest in it, and it just makes me wonder, why do it at all? So I think Sony should just make up their mind, to just scrap it altogether. Just scrap it.
Yeah, because when they did this whole PS4, they were pushing it like, yeah, you can use it to do this, do that, and it's just been.
I mean, if you're in your house, why do I want to play remote play? If I'm already in the house, that's like getting locked inside your car. Like, I mean, like really, like what? Like what's the point of remote play if you're in the house? And it doesn't even work very well. So I don't know.
Yeah.
They can get on Xbox level, because Xbox is just basically a stream basically, but it looks great.
Yeah, but at least I can see the value in that. I don't necessarily see, you can, if I'm not mistaken, you can take your Xbox controller and sync it to a Surface and play your Xbox, right?
Yeah.
You can't do that with remote play. The Vita, a lot of the times the controls are really wonky. Like if you try to play Destiny on your Vita, you're gonna get your ass kicked.
I tried it one day. It wasn't.
Yeah, you're gonna get your ass kicked.
Trying to face a lot, didn't you?
Yeah, so I mean, at least that what Microsoft does with the Xbox, at least that works. This, not quite sure what it does. So Sony has to make up their mind with that. Xbox, with what they need to do, I'm just kind of running down what they need to do, just kind of coming from the gamers. I don't need to shut Keisha and Nana out, but I think what Xbox needs to do is just kind of get on track with giving the players more exclusives. A lot of the reason why a lot of PS4 players choose PS4 is because a lot of the cross-platform games that they're playing, PS4's got exclusives that the Xbox doesn't have, or it gets too late, in the game. Like Destiny being one of those games. There are exclusives to the PS4 that the Xbox doesn't even have yet.
Yeah, a lot of the games look better on PS4. Realistically.
Well, I mean that's subjective, but I'm just saying, just in-game content.
Yeah.
I think Xbox really has to get on the ball with that and start cutting some deals and start cutting some checks and start giving the Xbox user some exclusives that can have PS4 players looking at the Xbox like, holy shit, I need to get an Xbox now.
Yeah, because they can't just depend on Halo and Gears of War.
Yeah, you can't. You can't. So I think that's the one thing that Microsoft, kind of really needs to get behind on is their third-party dealings and starting to get some exclusives for the Xbox. I think once they do that, then the competition will really get fierce. And then, of course, the consumer wins. So I'm hoping for that in 2016.
Any more awards, or we're wrapped up?
We didn't really do that many awards.
I'm saying, can we bring up wearables? Because there were a lot of wearables this year.
Yeah. Let's do it. Let's do it. Go for it. Lead it off.
So, as much as I want to love Jawbone, I started out with Jawbone wearables, fitness trackers. I love what Fitbit did this year as far as the Charge HR just blows everything out of the water. Right now I'm wearing my regular charge because my HR is not charged. But as far as tracking my heart rate, when I paired it up with my Apple Watch, completely different readings. And I also like the fact that the interface, I love the Fitbit app over the Jawbone tracking app as far as the trackers. So if I had to pick a wearable, Fitbit, I severely, was like no Fitbit for years because, everybody was drinking the Fitbit Kool-Aid. But once I actually bought it, used it, tested it in the wild, hands down.
He's like, now I see why.
And a lot of people got Fitbits for Christmas because it was like the #1 app in the App Store the last couple of days.
Really?
So everybody was like pairing and Add Me.
Ooh.
It was very popular. I believe a lot of people got the Flex and the Charge.
They're not that expensive either, right? So price-wise.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah,
HR is more
right.
expensive because of the heart rate monitoring. And then the Surge, because it has a GPS, is super expensive, and it has the notifications of sort of like a smartwatch. Is way expensive, like $199, $189 plus at least. If you find it. I think Charge HR, I agree, is one of the best wearables out there. With the app, of course. The app.
Doesn't Microsoft have a really good one?
The Band 2.
The Band 2.
I haven't tested that one. I've heard it's great, but I haven't.
Yeah, I heard it's a really good one. I don't use wearables in that capacity, but I heard it's really good. A lot of people I know that have at the very least tested it. They give it really high marks. So, what about you, Anna? What's your wearable?
Wearable would be the 360. Only
Yeah, same here.
360. Yeah, I got it in rose gold. I mean, even though it sucks on iOS, it does work on iOS. You can't say that for other things. It's just Android Wear, but still, fitness tracker, I would go Charge HR. I need to find my charger so I could use it again.
Yeah, always the worst.
I hate that. That's where they fail. Proprietary chargers are horrible. Like they have one for the Charge, one for the Charge HR, and one for the Surge, and one for the Flex. Like for real, you have a charger for each different one, and none of them are micro USB or mini USB anything. USB-C, nothing.
Was their own proprietary thing?
Yeah, for each one too. It's not like one for all Fitbits, one per Fitbit. So that's just horrible. But besides that, yeah, those would be the two. I'd wear both when I find the charger.
What about you, Rod?
For me, surprisingly enough, as much as I love the look of the Moto 360, the second edition of it, I still love the Pebble Time.
Really?
Yeah.
That's an interesting pick. Why?
Battery life and navigation. The UI of it. The UI is just dumb simple, and then I only charge it for like 2-3 days. Only because I get a lot of notifications. If you don't get as much, it'll last you.
Without the notifications on the 360, the 360's battery lasts a really long time.
It's gotten better from last year's.
I've been surprised. Like I've forgotten to charge my 360 for like 2 days, and even with it at like 30%, I still get basically the whole day. It's surprisingly a long-lasting battery. If you don't have the Bluetooth sync on, I mean, with Bluetooth sync on, it's decreases drastically. But surprisingly, the 360 battery is pretty good. I was pleasantly surprised.
Just go ahead.
No, I'm done.
Oh, okay. For me, it's just Android Wear. It's just like other than I don't really use Android Wear. Like, I see the notifications, I see the time. Other than that, I don't really use I don't really use it like that. So for me, it's not for me. Like, I love the hardware, not really be about software.
Because it's all the same.
Yeah, no matter which watch you buy, it's the same thing. Like, all right, like now it's like, okay, I don't like UI in Android smartphones, but I would kind of like to see that kind of implemented in Android Wear a little bit. Like, all right, Huawei get their own, somebody to kind of spice it up. Like the watch faces is probably all you get. Like, somebody has a different type of watch face built in, but you just download it and type one anyway. So.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, my favorite would have to be the 360, just because of the customization.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't even think Apple can top theirs.
Yeah, customization is key because you can automatically say, "Oh, this is my device, this is my watch," and you don't have to worry about seeing somebody on the street like, "Oh, you got that too?" Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you can do quite a bit with the 360 in terms of customization. So yeah, I mean, I would give it to the nod to the 360 just for that alone.
But they gotta get rid of that. They gotta get rid of that little flat tire. Can't stand it.
Like, right?
Yeah, for
Yeah.
third gen, that's not a go.
Yeah, second gen?
No,
It's
I'm saying
second gen.
for the third gen,
For third
they
gen, yeah.
can't, they can't be like, oh, we can't, like no.
It doesn't really bother me, but I would. It doesn't really bother me, but I would like to see it without it. Just
It can
curious.
bother you when you wear a different, like when I wear the Huawei, I'm like, oh, okay, I get to see all this full clean display, and then I put it back in the motor, I'm like,
Consumers ain't lucky to be, dealt fists and switching off watches like you do. You know what I'm saying?
it,
But
it,
I definitely get you
and I would like to see like Android where I mean you should be able, at least be able to sync it up to like two devices. Every time you
though.
want to sync it
Yeah,
to a different device, you have to reset it.
reset it
I
and
mean,
like
take it. Most people have only one phone anyway, but I mean, what if I would
still.
have synced it to like my tablet or something like that, which I think would be all right, but
Yeah,
you
I
can't even do
agree.
that.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with you there. I agree with you
Yeah.
there.
Okay.
What else?
What other awards we got to give out?
Um,
Mm,
Like you
Kind of
said,
felt like we already did the phone thing with
what about
previous questions.
best laptop or desktop? Those still matter. People still use their laptops every day. Best laptop,
Yeah.
desktop, or tablet, whatever works for you.
Ooh, it's hard.
I know.
Okay.
I didn't really dabble with any tablets. The only tablet I really messed with this year was the Tab S2, which was pretty all right, but I'm kind of still a fan of the old one, the Tab S.
I don't know. For me, I mean, there are a lot of great not tab. Sorry, there's not a lot of great tablets. There are a lot of great laptops out in the market right now.
Yeah.
It's all about marketing. Like HP got some cool stuff. Lenovo always got some cool stuff.
Dell.
Apple got some cool stuff. So it's like, it depends on what floats your boat, because essentially they're kind of all do the same thing. It's just a matter of what it look like.
What
Yeah.
about you,
So
Keisha?
I use a MacBook Pro on a daily, so
Yeah, I'm with you. I use a MacBook Pro Retina 15-inch. Um, between that and the XPS 13, those are probably
ooh, yeah.
the best of this year. If I don't use tablets at all, I hate them. But desktop laptops, those are my two, and of course desktop. I'm rocking an iMac, so that's it for me. Like I said, I'm a Mac head, so that's it for me. iMac, MacBook Pro. That's it.
Surface is dope.
Yeah, that's you guys, you Mills, and you guys are surface people. I'm hating, so I'll say that.
I'm on mine right now. I'm using their camera.
Yeah,
And
I know.
Me
I
too.
know. Yeah, I know.
all right, we can stop making Mike feel bad.
Yeah, I know. Nah, I mean, yeah, I mean, the closest that I get to, using Windows 10 is I use it virtually on my MacBook Pro. But other than that, I imagine the Surface Pro 4 is an incredible device. Even the Pro 3 is an incredible device. So, I hope to get one, soon. It's definitely, I mean, it's a tablet. I mean, I guess by structure, but it's so much more than that. So, um, it's an incredible device. So hopefully 2016 I can get my hands on one.
Yeah. Anna,
Um, I still
trying
love
not
my
to
Pro
mess up
phone.
your
I'm trying to
political
think.
connect.
No, I'm trying to think of. I know again here I am with the little things, but that gold MacBook, that was a win for me.
You're such a
Like,
chick.
not even. I wouldn't get it if it was like pink. I'd get
I
it if it was
love
gold.
gold.
Yeah, no, that
Yeah,
it's
you
a
know I love
killer.
gold.
It looks
So
dope, man.
that, but like I'm willing to like even buy the type cover, the Surface Pro 4 type cover because of the
Oh
fingerprint.
yeah.
All
Things
these.
like that,
This is a better keyboard
and
layout too.
the XPS, their version of like the two-in-one Surface, the Dell, it's just when we saw it at the MS store, it was really like impressive.
Yeah, Dell's really stepped their game up as far as their laptops this year, especially the more portable ones. Because you used to only really get good laptops like the Alienwares and stuff like that, but yeah, they really stepped it up with the XPS over this year.
Yeah, I
Even
mean the laptop is not what it used to be. So now people are becoming more and more portable.
yeah,
And it's hard to convince someone, nowadays, as strange as it may sound, it's hard to convince someone nowadays to use a laptop. I mean, it sounds weird, in a world full of technology, but it's hard to get someone to use a laptop nowadays. I mean, I know a couple of people that that have actually told me I don't have a laptop. I'm like, really? You don't? And yeah, I mean, everything they do is on their phone. Their whole life is
Yeah.
there. So
and
I
you wouldn't
mean,
even know it, right?
yeah, you wouldn't even know it. So I mean, you know, Dell making that XPS. What else? Lenovo has some really good ones. Asus has some really good ones, and Toshiba has some really nice ones.
Oh yeah.
And HP, I think they have that X60. That's really nice that I played around with. So
I guess
those are
it's Sprout. HP Sprout.
yeah,
Probably.
yeah. So I mean, um, that I mean that pretty much covers everything for me.
Yeah, that's
Um,
what I think I gave out enough awards. Oh, who? No, I think we already gave out the shit list too. So
yeah, we did the shit list. Apple's pretty much. Oh wait, no, Mills, you weren't here. Who was disappointing
yeah,
for you
you
this
were
year?
here.
I mean, ACC was disappointed with that M9 this year. I was very disappointed with that. I mean, but they kind of picked it up with the A9. Um, I can't really think of any other companies really that really disappointed me. I think LG in some aspects, like with the whole let's come out with the G4, then let's come out with the V10, like
Yeah,
they were
I
I
being,
said
said that earlier.
yeah, we said the
yeah.
same shit.
We said the same thing. LG kind of disappointed with that. Yeah.
And then even with the V10, like it's a not bad phone, but the battery sucks on this thing, man.
The
Oh,
battery
damn.
sucked on the G3. I mean,
And this
you
thing
know,
is hot. I feel like
Oh, okay, so
yeah,
that
Oh,
that's what it
and
Anna
it's
was.
said
not
that.
just you.
Yeah, she said that. I mean, she said the same exact thing.
it's hot right now and it's charging. I was charging. It's hot.
Plastic gonna melt.
Oh man, you have a stove in your pocket.
Yeah. I mean,
You have a hot plate in your pocket.
design wise, it's nice, but it's hot as hell, yo.
I mean, crack an egg on top of it and see what happens.
Well,
Probably good.
scrambled egg.
What about expectations for 2016? Just to kind of end it off.
Oh yeah.
VR is gonna be big. Uh,
You
expect to see
think
a lot
so?
of it.
They're really pushing
Yeah,
it. They're really pushing
they're
it at
pushing
CES this year.
VR.
They're gonna push it, but
Will the
Yeah,
consumer buy it is the
I mean, they're
question.
definitely
Yeah,
gonna push it,
yeah,
but
they push
I mean,
3D TV.
where does it go after you push it? You know, I mean, what purpose does it serve? I mean,
Are we
I,
ready for that yet?
yeah, well, I mean, yeah, and who are you marketing it to?
I think Samsung is doing at least a good job now. They have the VR out there. It's a good price, 200
VR,
bucks.
yeah. Well, between that and
cardboard.
Google Cardboard is like
Yeah.
it's like $20 and free if
Mm-hmm.
you for that one. So yeah, I mean, I don't know if it'll be a big thing, but I know we're definitely gonna
Well,
see more
if
of it,
anybody like
more
jumped on
content
that,
for it.
oh sorry,
Oh,
if
no.
anyone jumped on like the Verizon Star Wars thing, so they get like
I
the
Yeah,
missed that.
they
it's
get
out.
like they
I
had like
think
the
I
you
think
got it for
Sam was
free
the
Like
only
four.
one.
I think it
and
was like
you know
four different.
hmm?
Was it like four?
Yeah.
And at least if you could like get an idea of how VR works, at no cost, that's a good way to get people in. And then when they're gonna, I mean, it's gonna. What I mean when I say it's gonna be big, I mean it's gonna be big at CES. You're gonna see a big push for it in 2016. Um, they're trying to create a lot of content for it. So when there is the push, there'll be something for everyone. Like I've gotten pitches about porn on VR already. So they're working hard, hard
Well,
at it.
they always
So
say porn always helps push media anyway.
It's true.
mhm.
Porn. No, real talk.
It,
Porn
yeah.
is the reason why HD DVD doesn't exist anymore.
Yeah, porn
There's
has always
HD
been big because
DVD and
That's
Blu-ray.
pathetic.
Yeah.
Blu-ray one.
Pathetic.
I'm
That's
serious.
the reason.
I'm
if you
dead
look it up,
serious.
it's
No,
pretty
I
true.
don't want to look it up.
They push more units than It's, I mean, we all adults here. People act like. I mean, there are people that still buy physical porn, and
Yeah.
they move units. And like I said, that's why they're the deciding factor.
Porn is a huge industry. There's no question about that. I would just hate to think that it's a reason why, a certain, you know, area of technology moves forward because of
Well,
porn.
in that one aspect, yeah, I can't say from everything, but you
No, no,
said
no. I'm not saying everything. I'm just, speaking in terms of. Oh God, some people.
I mean, what I'm saying is that it's out there, and people are creating content, and then people are already spending like what you would call exaggerated amounts of money on technology. Like
Mhm.
for the 360s, $200, $300 for a watch. People are not um, shy about spending money on gadgets and accessories. So they're like, oh, VR. Okay, I'm gonna have this phone for 2 years or a year. $100 or $200 is not gonna cost me much. Or if they do
Yeah.
decide to go a Google Cardboard way and they still use the VR and they push for more content, it might be like maybe 2017 where it's more at norm. You know, that's just my prediction, just based on the pitches I've been getting.
I don't know. I still think VR is kind of. I don't know if anybody shares this view. I still think VR is still way in its infancy. As
Definitely.
far along as it's gotten, and I say as far along as it's gotten relative to early 2000s. I still think it's in its infancy. I still think it has a long way to go. It
Mhm.
remains to be seen, what its intended purpose is. Right now, its intended purpose is largely entertainment,
Yeah.
and that's fine. It's got to be more to it than that. Because it's going to be expensive.
Mhm.
They can say what they want, but VR ain't going to be cheap. It ain't. And
Especially when you get that content off
I
it.
don't know. I have to see more. I have to see more. I have to see more. I'm not convinced yet because right now it's not competitive. There's only a couple of companies that are really kind of pushing it forward and and they're just taking baby steps. Oculus is one. We haven't seen
Oh
much
yeah.
from them. We haven't seen much from them. Sony's pushing Morpheus, but how much have you really heard about Morpheus? What's to be expected from Morpheus? When can we expect to, see it go on sale? What games are they putting together? Microsoft has HoloLens, but we've seen demos of that, but really we've seen their executives demo it. We haven't seen it really. So, I don't know. I don't know. I'm not sold on VR just yet. They've got to convince me.
Well, like I just heard, I think I saw it today actually. Samsung made a commercial with LeBron James and
Yes.
with VR.
Yeah.
So like
Ooh.
the fact that they're already doing endorsement deals, and because I don't think he's been around since what, the Note 2 or Note 3,
No, too.
right, with Samsung. So
Yeah.
they're bringing him back, and he is not better right now, but let's say, or he's still a big star. So I mean, they're really trying to push the popularity out there with him.
No, I mean I get that. I'm still I guess my skepticism comes from not knowing what the clear goal is for VR. That's where my skepticism comes into play. Like I don't know
Entertainment, really.
what the expectation is. I don't, because there's so many different ways you can use it. You can use it for I guess watching TV. We now know you can watch porn with it. Gaming. I don't. There's so many different uses. I don't know what the goal is. So I don't know. I don't know. Call me a little bit ignorant in this area. I'm just I don't know. I just need to see more. That's my position.
Any other 2016 expectations, predictions, etc., etc.?
I have maybe one more. New MacBook, Apple. I need to see a new MacBook Pro. It's that time. You gave us that thin MacBook. I need to see a bigger MacBook Pro, and bring back the 17-inch.
Wow, that's the first.
That's big.
The 17.
Why? Why do you want to see the 17-inch? I'm just curious.
Why not? Why not? Why not? Why not? I mean, keep it real. When the 17-inch was out, that wasn't the MacBook that you wanted to have?
Absolutely.
Okay then.
But
Just for
there's also like bricks carrying it around too.
Oh, come on. Oh, come on.
It was extremely heavy.
No, it's not. The Retina, my Retina is not that heavy at all. You throw it in your backpack, you don't even know it's there. It's not that heavy. I've carried books that are heavier than my MacBook.
I don't know. You probably one in a million trillion that wants that 17
I wouldn't be
inch.
lugging that around CES. So.
Oh, no. They carry a phone.
Why not? I mean, some gamers carry around 17-inch Alienwares, and those things aren't light at all, and they're thick as dictionaries.
Congratulations.
Why not put it with Apple? Listen, put out the 17-inch. Bring it back.
Yeah, Apple wants it back.
I want the 17-inch back. I'm not actually going to buy it because it's probably going to cost
$5.
What?
He's like, I want to see it. Hey, you going to get one? Nah, B, I'm good. I just want to see it.
Yeah, I probably can't afford it, but bring it back. Bring it back anyway. Why not? Shit, why not? You guys have like, how big is the iPad Pro? 12 inches? 13 inches?
I saw somebody on the train with that the other day, yo.
Some big ass shit.
Yeah, so if you guys can do that, bring the 17-inch MacBook Pro back. I know you guys are trying to be cute and find a happy medium with the 15.6 MacBook Pro Retina. Bring the 17 back.
You need that extra inch and a half.
Put that on.
Okay, yeah. Bring the 17 back. Jason's trying to take me to a dark place. Bring the 17 back.
I ain't sure nothing, bro. At least you're gonna use it with some VR. I don't know.
Oh Lord.
Those are my expectations. I think that's my expectation. For the next year. Bring the MacBook Pro 17. Yeah, that's it. And make OLED TVs more affordable. Yeah, I would like to have one, but I don't want to spend $4,000.
Oh,
okay?
hell no.
I don't want to spend the cost of a small Hyundai on a TV. Okay? You know, yeah, make OLED cheaper.
There you go. Next.
I'm so like I said earlier, I'm all about auto these days, and I think the first quarter for me and my brand is definitely going to be more automotive in how technology kind of connect the cars and all that. So I would love to see more of that in, like, say, a Nissan or something that my mother, who, yes, we test drive a Tesla, she can't afford a Tesla. I can't afford a Tesla.
And
But
yet, it's
not,
coming. Model 3, 35K.
and that's forever now. I'm talking about something right now, something May 2016 when I need to buy a new car. I want to see some of these automakers implement a lot more technology into their car. And I want it to be affordable to the point of someone who's looking for their first car, their first crossover, and
I agree with you.
because I drove a Kia Sedona, 2016 Sedona. Like, what? I would have never thought it would have been as tech forward as it is. And now, granted, it was, crazy expensive, but, it's a step in the right direction. So
Yeah, I agree with you.
that's what
Yeah,
I
because
want to see.
some car makers are with it and others aren't. It's just like, can everybody get on board with this? What's the
Get on the
problem?
same board. If Google can have self-driving cars that crash every so often, y'all can put good ass Bluetooth in the car and not have you.
It's funny. It crashes because people crash into it. It hasn't crashed yet. Believe it or not, because it's driving too slow.
Keisha, what was your favorite car? Like,
world. You
tech-wise?
have to be a complete moron to crash into that.
That's what I'm saying. Like, it hasn't crashed. People have crashed into it a couple times, according to their reports.
Yeah, their licenses should be revoked. Because that's got to be the slowest car in the world.
Yeah, it's gonna drive respectably and all that. Everybody went.
I wanted to ask Keisha a question. All the cars you tested and where you've been connected car-wise, favorites, things you hate, need for improvement, or like how many were you just doing like Kia and things like that? Did you do?
So I Kia, Hyundai. I did Honda. I've done a few car makers. So the cars that have stuck out to me the most is Kia, and it's only because Kia has had this brand recognition for being you don't drive this car cross country. You don't, the parts are coming from different places. But Kia did a huge rebrand maybe a year or two ago. And so I drove a Kia last year, and then I got into an Optima this summer, and it completely blew my mind. Completely blew my mind. I mean, as soon as I got into the car, everything was pretty much catered to me, and then the technology was just out of this world. I mean, pretty standard with the Bluetooth and the XM radio and things of that nature, but just being able to drive around with my car being a hotspot was something that I wasn't used to. Now, granted, I have an '06 Sentra, but, out of all the cars that I tested this year, I think the Kia Optima, hands down, was the best car I've had.
I've heard that from other people.
And I see them on the roads now, too. I'm like, you never notice cars until you drive them, and you're like, oh, dang, I didn't know you had a Kia. Or, I work with a lady, she has a fully loaded Kia. She drives to work every day, and I'm like, I had no idea.
It's nice, man. Fully loaded? That thing is nice.
They're nice.
That thing is nice. I must say. It is a nice car. Boy.
It is. I'm looking into it.
I wouldn't be mad at you. It's a nice car. Definitely. Definitely. What about you, Mills? Expectations, 2016.
I don't know, man. Like, I guess I just want to see how everything's gonna go as far as automation. Like, you guys are talking about like the auto cars and how these things are gonna go with drones. 'Cause, everybody basically almost is gonna have one probably by next year with the drones and everything.
Yeah, I have to make the flying leap and get one. Soon.
I thought I was going to get one for Christmas.
Yeah, I did too.
Somebody did you dirty. It's like, don't for
Bring
you.
out that hint. Who's watching?
Right. I know you watching. Okay, I know automation's been kind of on a slow creep this year as far as I mean, I'm all about connecting everything. So when you say automation, you're talking about
Yeah, like connecting everything. Like, you have the thing with home automation, and then even the thing this year with Amazon with the Echo,
right.
how you can basically talk to that, and you can basically have that do just about anything in your household, realistically. I think it's gonna get a little crazy, a little creepy as it goes on. They're going to get into that whole Skynet thing at one point. I don't know. I
Oh,
always
of
think about
course. If it's not already existing somewhere.
And I just saw Terminator Genesis last night too, so it's fresh on my brain.
that. It's always on my brain. Like I got the Echo, and I don't want to hook it up because I want her to talk to me one day and be like, nah, you don't want to do that. You
He
good.
said, "Jason, where are you going?" Like, whoa.
I see you came to the room. I'm gonna turn the Xbox on for you.
Right.
Yeah, so if you had to connect, you could do that with the Connect though,
Yeah, I don't have
but
one.
nobody has Connect. I need to buy one. Yeah. Oh, I don't think I went. I don't really have any expectations for 2016. I think we're just going to see a lot of the same mid-range level innovations. I like that Motorola did. I like what Motorola did this year as a whole, and I ended off the year with the Turbo 2 by making that Shatter Shield technology. So I hope they don't make that exclusive to the turbos, and I would like to see that in whatever Moto X they come out with 2016.
This
I think
Shadow
that would
Shield
be
is
dope.
pretty strong, man.
Oh, it's dope,
Have you seen
but
some
it's
of the
Shatter
videos?
Shield, huh?
Have you seen some of the videos? They dropping this shit off like
Oh, a hundred
drones.
CNN
times.
CNN did a great video where they had a horse put a hoof on it. They
Yeah, I saw
dropped it.
that.
They did a couple things. That was a really good one. They had, all that.
I
It
saw one
fit.
the
That's
other
my.
day where they had connected one to a drone. They dropped it maybe 300 feet. Still
Hmm.
works.
Oh
Yeah,
wow.
it's Shatter Shield. But
Hearing it.
you still it's more so the screen. You drop it at a certain angle, you still might screw some things up.
Oh, it
Yeah.
gets beat up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, not beat up, but if you like say you drop something like an edge from like a long way, stuff might not work.
Yeah. But I
But
mean, at least companies are trying at least, and at least if with the whole thing once it gets messed up, they replace it like the screen anyway,
yeah,
which
yeah, and that's what I'm saying. I love
every year.
what everything Motorola did this year with pretty much everything. Just implementing Motor Maker, making their cameras actually good this year. Um, or, better. Yeah. So, all right. I think we're approaching 2 hours, folks.
Woo.
That's all right. We covered a lot.
Yeah, I woke up like 2 hours. I thought I was on here for 45
It,
minutes.
it, it, it didn't
All
seem
right.
like that.
So,
No,
yeah,
it never
yeah.
does.
When you do these things go by. These things go by. You be on here for hours and not even notice it. But I guess I think we should wrap up. Any last things? Anything anybody want to plug?
Um,
Um,
I won't plug,
anything
but
anybody want to say?
Yeah,
um,
I'm gonna plug, but I'll wait
okay,
for
you go
Anna.
first. Go ahead. Oh, okay. You want me to go first? I will be at CES 2016. Um, I will be covering for TechWeLike and maybe a little bit for GStyle, but mostly for TechWeLike. Also on my personal channels, just like the other things that I find interesting because not everything fits in for like mobile consumer electronics. Um, my channels on Twitter, Snapchat, Periscope, oh, Instagram. all are
Don't you got a
uh,
YouTube channel?
all are Yummy Anna. Uh, Soon there will be YouTube. Yes, I was upload just random things up there.
2020.
Haters. Um, yeah, so I will be there. I'll be there from beginning to end. It will be a long, long week in Vegas. I hope it's fun. If anyone's watching that wants me to meet, email me.
Don't
I
say
know you have
that.
email. No, I mean PR
They're gonna be
companies
all in your
are real.
DMs.
You can have somebody flying out there just to see
Do
you.
not
Yeah, you're gonna be
slide in the
all up in your
DMs.
DMs.
All in
Well,
the
No, no, no.
DMs.
so I hit it in the DM.
Uh, yeah, it shall be fun. That's pretty much what I'm looking forward to right now. It's a blur afterward, but while you're there, it's like all all the technology and geese want. So
Next week.
yeah,
Very true.
This
Jason
week,
will be
actually.
there too.
Jason, you got anything you want to plug, advertise, say, last words?
Nah, just catch me on GStyleMagazine. Catch me at CES. Catch my social channels, GMillion NYC. If you're interested in food, check me out.
On the gram, it'll make you
Instagram,
hungry.
He eats a
Twitter.
lot.
Yeah.
No, if you're hungry at all, don't go to his Instagram. Wait till you.
Yeah, yeah, because you're going to be mad. Damn, when these places open, he ain't good. Yeah.
That's about it. Nothing crazy.
All right.
I'm not gonna tell anybody to come look for me or meet me after that.
That's not what I meant. Oh Lord.
Keisha?
I got a secret project I'm working on that'll launch early 2016, but I can't speak on it just right now.
Yeah,
But
let's not reveal the secret.
I can't reveal the secrets. But
Just we'll be on the lookout.
please be on the lookout. You can follow me everywhere except for Twitter. Twitter is TechGirlTweets, and then everywhere else is CityGirlGoesDigital, all one word. And I won't be at CES this year, so can y'all please get lots and lots of footage and coverage because
Oh,
it's hurting me a little bit.
Newsfeed. Yes.
Please, 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 just flood the newsfeed. But
Yeah,
yeah,
bring back some swag. Huh?
just mail it. Mail it to
I'm just
me and Rob.
kidding.
We got y'all.
I guess it's my turn, huh?
Mike? Yeah, Mike.
As for me, um, just like Keisha, I got something in the works for 2016. It has everything to do with gaming. I'm the gamer of the crew. We're gonna have GSG Gaming on Twitch, where I'll be streaming along with another one of my cohorts over at G-Style, Tamika Red Infamy, and we
You
just.
G-Style now?
I'm sorry.
You got G-Style now?
Yes, sir. And we're gonna be doing some gaming, and we're gonna be talking shit, and we're gonna be involving people and having some fun. Look out for that coming soon. I'm gonna be doing some retro gaming and some community gaming like Rocket League, some Destiny if you want to run some raids and some strikes, some NBA, some Madden, whatever it is. So that's coming soon. So we'll probably be making like a formal announcement once we kind of get everything on a set schedule and finalize, how everything's going to work. But that's what's in the works. Other than that, you can catch me on Instagram at GeekLifeMike, and Twitter under the same name. I don't post much unless it's compelling. So don't look for me to be constantly blowing up your feeds. Unless it's compelling, it ain't going up. So just check for me there at GeekLifeMike, and that's it.
All right, cool. Well, you can catch me at TechGuysMartBuy, one word. All the social medias, YouTube, Periscope. Kind of trying to get on Snapchat, Instagram, Facebook, all that good stuff. We'll be trying to crank out more videos. We'll actually probably be leaning into Keisha's territory, getting into some car stuff a little more.
Come on over.
Yeah, I'm trying to drive around, ride around, getting it like you. And yeah, and also we're going to be looking to expand, get some writers, contributors, people who get on some videos and do some things. So if you're interested in writing or hopping on podcasts or creating podcasts or just doing some things, DM me. You could DM me that. Anna, good luck. I hope you carry a knife with you or something out there.
She'll be fine.
I know. I'm just poking fun at it. So yeah, that's it. This is the best and worst in tech, and yeah, I think we're good to sign off.
All right, let's do this again soon.
Yeah. Everybody say they peace, one, and all that stuff, and yeah.
Luke.
Bye. Thanks for watching.
Stay blessed.